Dear students, this tutorial on Excel is divided into two parts. First 1 hour comprises very basic concepts of the Excel. So if you are well versed with Excel, you can skip it, or you can watch it at a higher speed, or you can quickly scroll and see. Maybe first half an hour is very basic, the next half hour is comparatively normal basics are there. And the second 1 hour comprises the application of Excel for time value of money. That is definitely going to be fruitful for you. So use your own discretion. Which part would you like to watch? Thank you. Hi, welcome to this session on learning the very basic concepts of MS Excel and then its application for a commerce student. So basically this tutorial is not going to give you advanced knowledge of Excel. The purpose of this tutorial video is to give you the basic knowledge of MS Excel first of all, and thereafter the more important part is how to apply MS Excel in real life situation, especially by a commerce student, an undergraduate commerce student, or a student which is pursuing CMA intermediate, or a student which is pursuing CMA final. When you prepare for any examination and then you appear for any examination, then you don't get access to any spreadsheet like MS Excel during your examination. And all of the calculations have to be done by any ordinary calculator like this. And many of you, especially the CMA intermediate and CMA final students, many of you actually learn a whole lot of calculator short tricks, that how to make powers on ordinary calculators, because scientific calculators or financial calculators are not allowed in examination. So you learn how to make power, how to make square root, 1 by 3 power, 1 by 5 power, how to calculate rate, and many more things in calculator. That's fine for the purpose of examination. But as far as life is concerned, this calculator is not going to help you a lot. In life, you will get bulk data to handle. In examination question, only a few selected data are given. But the real life data is really huge in size. You cannot do it manually with the help of calculator. And number two, calculator offers you only some basic operation: addition, multiplication, division, subtraction, full stop. Or maybe 2-3 more functions. But in real life situation, you need to do many types of analysis. And any spreadsheet offer those functions, which can save on your time, which can increase your efficiency, and can give you better results, which you cannot think otherwise. So MS Excel is one of those spreadsheets. For the purpose of this tutorial, I am using MS Office 2019. So it is the latest version available in the market. Maybe you are having an earlier version, like probably you are having 2016, 2013, 2010, or even the older version you may be using. The layout may be different, 1-2 functions may be different, but believe me, otherwise, as far as a beginner is concerned, all the functions are almost same. So initially, I am giving you some very basic concepts, very elementary concepts, and then we will learn advanced concept, that too through application. Okay guys, so if you want to, whenever you start MS Excel, say I want to open a new file. So I click this blank workbook and a new file is open over here. Now you can observe that there are various rows, row number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and so on. And there are around 1 million rows in Excel. To be precise, 10,48,576. You must be thinking, who will use 10 lakh rows, 1 million rows in a calculation? I have been teaching finance for last 20, 21, 22 years. And some of my students, they are sitting at a very high position in some organizations. And then they say that this 10 lakh rows are insufficient even for our basic calculations. So we need to use other softwares, customized softwares, and we have to leave this Msxl. So even in real life situation, 10 lakh rows may be insufficient. Then there are many columns. So the column name is A, B, C, D. Column letter is A, B, C, D, E, F. And once it is Z, then it is AAABAC, and thereafter it is BABC, and it keeps on happening up to XFD. So there are many rows in Excel available. Okay, as a beginner, you will hardly need 5-10 rows and 5-10 columns. Okay, but now how would you like to view your Excel work area? Now that is also one of the important things. See, at the bottom right corner, there is a zoom scroll. So if I click on this plus sign, I see all the cells are in the zoom. And I can see it better, bigger now. And similarly, if I press this minus button, this is zoom out. This is one of the very basic functions. Okay. Number two things, if you don't want to see these grid lines, you can always hide it. Just go to this view tab. Yes, there are various tabs: home tab, insert tab, draw, page layout, formulas, data, review, view, help, etc. So come to this view tab, and here you can uncheck this grid line thing, and once you uncheck it, see, now you won't see grid lines. But actually, it is always better to have grid lines. You have a better view of what you are doing exactly. Similarly, you can hide headings also. If you hide headings, then the row number and the column letter will be hidden, and you will have more workspace area. You can also hide this formula bar, uncheck the formula bar, and see here. Now this formula bar, or see, if I type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like this here, so that I can always see in the formula bar. Formulas, numbers, I can always see in the formula bar. So if I hide this, I'll have more workspace. So I'll not hide anything. Okay, I'll tell you one more thing about it. This, whenever you click a tab, then a whole lot of icons are there, a whole lot of options are there. Later you will learn all these options and you won't have to see it continuously. And if you simply press control, CTRL, control and F1. If you press control plus F1, don't press plus. Plus sign is just to show you that you need to press two keys together, control and F1. Just do it. Okay, don't just listen to this, what I am saying. Open one Msxl file simultaneously, and after listening for every 10-15 minutes, do it yourself. So control F1, when you press, this ribbon will be hidden and you will have more work area, and control F1 again and this ribbon will appear. Control F1 disappear, control F1 again appear. Then there are various text function: copy, paste, format, painter, bold, underline, italic, making borders, highlighting the background, text color, text size, text font, alignment of the text, merger of the cells, number format, conditional formatting, inserting and deleting rows and columns and cells, formatting, and various other things are over here. So let's get started with some of the basic concepts. Let's go. So how do you do the basic math using Excel? Now that is the question. So for the purpose of addition, the operator is plus. For deduction, it is minus. But for multiplication, the asterisk sign is there. No multiplication sign is there. A star kind of symbol which is called asterisk sign, it is there. And for division, not the regular division sign, but the oblique sign is there in MS Excel. Okay, so I'll just do one thing. Let's do some calculations. So how do you start a calculation? Either you type the number itself for the purpose of doing the calculation. Like I want to do 2 plus 3 multiplied by 10 and divide by 5. Or better I say I do 2 multiplied by 10 plus 3 plus 30 divided by 5. So for addition n, and then I want to deduct 7 out of it, or I want to deduct 3. So for division, the oblique sign is there. For multiplication, asterisk sign is there. This is the very basic concept. I think you already know this. But now see in which order Excel will perform it, that is going to be interesting. If you are thinking Excel will first multiply 2 into 10, it will become 20, then plus 30, it will become 50. 50 divided by 5 should become 10, minus 3 should become 7, then you are wrong. The answer is actually 23. Whenever you want to edit anything which you have already entered in the cell, if I put the cursor over here, then my active cell is B3. So you can see that I can see my cell number. Do you want to see which is the active cell? It is very simple. If I put my cursor over here, you can see in the column D is highlighted and in the row 6 is highlighted. So I can easily see that my active cell, my current active cell is D6. I put the cursor over here, click here, and I see B3 is my active cell. There is one more way to see my active cell. Look here in the formula bar. B3 is written over here. And here in the formula bar exactly, you can see that not the final result, rather than the calculation is being shown over here. If you want to edit this calculation, simply press F2. If you want to edit any cell in MS Excel, you need to press F2. Now look here, Excel works actually on BODMAS, BODMAS. Do you know what is BODMAS? BO stands for bracket open, D for divide, M for multiply, A for add, and S for subtract. So if you give both multiplication and addition to Excel, it will first multiply and then add. If you give both multiplication, division and addition to Excel, it will first divide and then it will add. So see what Excel is doing over here. I'll tell you. First it is multiplying 2 into 10. Then it is dividing 330 by 5. Let's see what exactly is happening. 2 into 10 actually becomes 20. 30 by 5 is giving you 6. So 20 plus 6 is 26, and then it is deducting 3. And that's why the answer is 23. Well, actually, what do you want? You want to divide this whole figure by 5. If you want to divide this whole figure by 5, then you need to put a bracket. Now, as per BODMAS rule, Excel will first do the bracket open. So first of all, it will solve the bracket and then it will divide and then it will deduct. Now within the bracket, it has two operations. One is multiplication and other one is addition. So Excel will first do multiplication because in BODMAS, M comes first. And then it will do addition. While you don't want that, you want that first it should add 10 and 30 and thereafter it should multiply by 2. Suppose you want that. Then again you need to put one more bracket inside the bracket. So first it will open the inside bracket. If there are more than one brackets, then the innermost bracket it will first of all solve, bracket open. So 10 plus 30 will give you 40, 40 multiplied by 2 will give you 80, 80 divided by 5 will give you 16. No, now division and deduction both are there. First it will do deduction. 16 minus 3 will give you 13. So just keep in mind, this is a very simple small thing, but many people make mistake over here that Excel works on BODMAS. Okay guys, so this is what you got. Okay, now for the purpose of summation, there is one more thing which can be actually done. Say there are many figures to add, then rather than typing, suppose all figures are already written over here like this, you want to make an addition of all this, then rather than putting a plus sign each time, you can simply use the sum function. So I'll do equal to sum bracket open, and then rather than typing all numbers again, I'll select the range and close bracket and press enter, and this will give me summation. F2 and I can see the formula. After entering into, this is a formula, sum is a formula. Suppose you don't want to see the value, what formula is giving you, you want to see the formula, then there is one shortcut key in this, for this in Excel, and that shortcut key is control plus tilde. What is tilde? This is tilde. So where do I find this tilde? In the numeric keypad, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row, just to the left of the one, probably in your laptop or in your desktop keyboard. Wait a minute. You'll find this. Tilde. So you press anywhere, whatever is your active cell, you simply press control tilde, and now you can see rather than showing you the final value, it will show you the formula. Here it is showing the sum formula, and here it is showing the whole calculation rather than giving you the final answer. You press control plus tilde again, and rather than showing the formula, now it will show you the value. The other way to see the formula is to make this cell an active cell, that is put the cell cursor over here, and then you can see in the formula bar formula is there. Put here and you can see this formula is over here. Okay. Alright. So this is the very basic simple operation of addition, multiplication, division, and making a sum total. Let me tell you one more thing. Rather than typing equal to sum and everything, there is a shortcut key, and that is Alt equal to. Okay, when you simply type Alt and equal to together, the sum formula will automatically appear, and it will consider all the rows above the active cell, continuous rows, and then press enter. See, I'll do it again for you. What I'm doing now is Alt and equal to. You don't need to put a plus sign. Plus sign is just to show you that two keys need to be pressed simultaneously. Alt equal to you do here. That is the keyboard shortcut, and the entire sum formula will appear. Now I'll tell you one more interesting thing about Excel, that you need not to memorize any formulas of Excel. Excel itself offer you a tool tip when you start typing a formula. How? I'll show you. So this kind of zoom function is not there in Excel. That for that I am using a separate software. So look guys, I start typing a formula function. I start typing an inbuilt function of Excel equal to, okay, let me type it somewhere else, maybe here or here, equal to sum. As soon as I type equal to S, first of all, any function in Msxl which start from S, list of all those function appears over here. Search, sec, secch, second, sheet, sin, sin, skew, skewness of the population, slope, small, a whole lot of functions are there. You can see one more thing, that with some of the function, this yellow triangle is there. What does it mean? This was the function which was available with the previous version of Excel, and a new improved function is now there in Excel, like standard deviation function. This is stdev and stdevp. This stdev dot p and dot s is the new function, and this is the function, this function with yellow red triangle. It indicates that this was the earlier version of the function that will work here also, but a better function is available now. As soon as I type S, you can type any letter A and Excel has a function. With B, there are many functions. C, there are many functions. D, there are many functions. You can just see that how many functions, a whole lot of functions are available in Excel. So I type SU and then M, sum, and then I type bracket open. So now I have started entering arguments for this function. Now see, Excel is offering me a tooltip. So first it is showing number 1 in bold letters. So whatever I enter now, that will be considered as number 1, 20. Then I put a comma. This thing is common for any of the Excel functions. Then I put a comma, and now you can see that number 2 is in bold letters. So whatever you input now will be considered as number 2. Say I enter 3000. Now I press a comma, and now I want to enter 1 lakh, number 3. Don't put a separator in the number. For typing 1 lakh, don't do 1 comma 00 comma 000. No, don't do it. In Excel, when you type a separator, that is a comma in any Excel function, then a different input is thereafter taken. Okay, so 20 plus 3000 plus 1 lakh, then I close bracket, I press enter, and 1 lakh 3020 is the sum total. I don't want to do it. I just want to give a range. So rather than typing all values, I click here and drag up to here and then release my mouse button. So now this is B6 to B12. I press enter and I get the sum total. Okay, I know this is very simple, but we are starting with some elementary things. And here alter equal to is a shortcut. It will automatically take a sum total. Okay, let's do one experiment with alter equal to. I delete this 40 number from over here. Just a second, please. I delete this number from this range, and now I press alt equal to, and you can see that now it is making a sum total of numbers up to row number 9 only, because it is taking only adjacent rows, and if there is a break in between, then this alt equal to shortcut will not work. But if I put a 0 over here, if I put a 0 over here and then I do alt equal to, then it will take the whole range. Okay, let's do one thing. I put 40 over here and then I put 10 over here, and then I try this alt equal to function. Still it is taking only up to number 10. It is not taking the text. It is not taking the number which is above the text. So now you understand how this keyboard shortcut actually works. One more thing. So actually I want to add this 13 also. Okay, you want to add this 13 also. Type a comma. You do this equal to sum. Select this range. After selecting the range, you type a comma and then select this 13, B3, and then close bracket. So a range and then a single number, and then you press equal to, and this is the sum total of all these numbers. Later, if you want to edit this formula, make it the active cell, and then what do I mean by make it the active cell? Just click it over here, and the cell is surrounded with a rectangle, and once it is the active cell, press F2. See one more beautiful thing, that whenever you, I'm sorry, okay, one more thing, if any time you commit a mistake and you want to undo it, you already might be knowing this. If you want to undo what you have already done, then Control plus Z you should use, and if you want to redo, then Control plus Y you should actually use. Okay, so now if I use this Control Z, then whatever I typed last will disappear. Then this is gone, this is gone, this is gone, this is gone, this is gone. And then I do Control Y, Control Y, Control Y, Control Y, Control Y, Control Y. So it will appear again. If I want to save it, say I am saving it here in one of the destinations, and it is done. Okay. Now, after doing this basic operation of sum total, next thing is introduction to, okay, sum function is already done. Next thing is some other functions. Some other mathematical arithmetical functions are over here, and that is you can calculate mean, mode and median. How to calculate mean, mode and median, I'll tell you. Let's copy and paste this example in our sheet. So this is the sheet I do have. Control F1 I will do, so that I will have more working area over here. Now I want to calculate average of all these numbers. I'll simply do one thing. I type equal to average. There is no mean formula function in Excel. The function is average. Don't do it manually. You can also do it manually. You can say bracket open 50 plus 20 plus 60 plus next number bracket close divided by 4. This is the manual summation. Rather than doing this, the other way is you can do equal to sum, and then you can divide it by 4. But the best way of doing this is to use average function in Excel. Average equal to average, bracket open, select the range. How do I select the range? I go to the start of the range, then I can do either, there are two ways to select a range. One of the ways is through your mouse. So I click here and then I drag and then I release. This is selected. If I don't want to use mouse to select this, I can also use keyboard to select a range. To use keyboard to select a range, you should press Shift and the arrow key. Shift down arrow key will select this. Now Shift right arrow key will select this. Shift left arrow key will select this. Shift down, Shift up. Shift and the arrow key can be used to select your desired range. Okay, so I want to do equal to average, and then I select this, close bracket, press enter, and I get the result. So this is the mean of the series. If I actually want to calculate median, I will say equal to median. I know probably that what is median. I think you know probably that what is median. And then enter. So the median here is 50. If I want to calculate mode, then the mode function is also there. I select the whole range and the mode is also 50. So you can calculate mean, mode, median, many more things you can calculate. Standard deviation, correlation, regression, and ANOVA table, and many more things you can do. Okay, so this is, now I'll tell you one more interesting thing. This lower side area in the Excel, this is named as status bar. So if I simply select this range, then without using any function, in the status bar itself, it is giving me count equal to 5. You can see here. It means I have selected 5 cells. Sum total of the numbers given in these 5 cells is 260. And the average is 52. If I select this, then see the average is 42.5. If I select all this, then total cells I have selected, count it is saying me 47. How come that 47? Let's see. You know, if I select this like this one, so count it is telling me 10 and the average is still 42.5. And if I select this, then I have selected total 20 cells which contains data, not the empty cell. And the count sum total is 310 and average is 38.75. So you can also use status bar for seeing at least the count of the cells which contain data, their sum total and their average. And if you right click over here, you can see that what other things you would like to see. Suppose you want to see minimum or maximum also, so you click maximum. Now you select the range and now you see max is 60. So out of a selected range, the biggest number is 60. If I right click the status bar and I also tick minimum, then now you see that minimum number is 10. That also appears over here. Numerical count. So I tick this and see, though the count here is 20, total cells which contains data are 20, but total cells which contain numerical data, not text, are 8. So that is also shown over here. And many more things can be done over here. Okay. Whether your number lock is on or off, whether your caps lock is on or off, you want to see it, then that can also be like, if I turn on caps lock, see caps lock, when I turn on, it shows caps lock. Number lock, when I turn on and off, it is shown in the status bar. If you want to see whether your caps lock, number lock is turn on or turn off, you can put it in the status bar. You know, the best way to learn is this. Excel is self-learning. That is, do it yourself. You keep exploring, you keep clicking everywhere, here and there, and you will find a whole lot of functions. Alright guys, we have done this. Now, minimum and maximum, that is also a function which was there in status bar, as well as you can use it here. Say I type equal to minimum, bracket open, and then I select this range and press enter. So the minimum number over here is 20. If I do maximum equal to max and then select this range, press enter, and the maximum number over here is 60. Next is the date and the time function in Excel. In Excel, if you want today's date to be returned, like, okay, I'm done with this sheet and I want to type anything new in a new sheet. How to insert a new sheet? It's very simple. See here at the bottom left corner, sheet 1 is written over here. In previous version, usually 3 sheets are introduced when you open a new file. But in this latest version, they do introduce just one sheet when you open MS Excel. If you want other sheet, click here plus. And a new sheet is inserted. I'll zoom in. I'm going to use the date function now. So I'll type, I want today's date. I'll type today, bracket open, bracket close, enter, and this is giving that this is 3rd of June 2020. Yes, today it is 3rd of June 2020. I want current time also, so I'll say now. Bracket open, bracket close, enter. So this is 3rd of June 2020, 11:50 is the time. 11:50 AM it is. If I want to change the format, I can change the cell format always. How can I don't want to see this in numeric number, so I want to change the format. So in the home tab, you will find a number block. At number block, when I click this expansion arrow, a window opens, home tab, number block, expansion of the window. There is one more way to open anything like this in Excel. You just hit and release the Alt key. When I press and release Alt key, see what happens. All the keyboard shortcut appears. To see the home tab, I'll have to press H. To use the insert tab, I'll have to press N now, and so on. So I'm pressing H now, Alt H. Once I press H, then you can see this whole formatting block. N means the number format you want to see, and if I do P, it will be percentage, then number of decimal place I want to put, or there is one more thing which is FM. FM means expansion of this whole block. So now I'll hit, I have not kept it on hold. I just press the key and release it. So now I'll type FM and see this dialog box is open. So what did I do? Now I'll do it quickly. I did Alt and then H and then FM. Okay, so Alt H FM. When you keep on using one of the ribbon element of the Excel frequently, then moving your mouse to that particular function and clicking takes more time, and rather than using the keyboard shortcut takes less amount of time. So I'll put it here, and then okay, there is one keyboard shortcut also. Rather than doing this Alt H FM, there is one shortcut for Alt H FM, and that shortcut is Control N1, numeric 1. It's not F1. So I type Control 1, and this formatting option comes over here. How would I like to format the cell? Currently, it has a custom format, DD, MM. Okay, you want me to zoom it? I'll do that for you. So this is DD, that is day, MM for month, YYYY, that is for year, HH for hour, and MM for minute. It's a 24-hour clock. That's why AM, PM is not appearing over here. If I want to see hour, minute, second, and that too in AM, PM format, I'll click here. I'll say OK. And look, now you can see that this is 11:53 and 13. That is not the current time. That is the time when I entered this function. If I do any calculation on this sheet, like I do 2 plus 2, enter, then the current time will change. Observe, now it will not remain 11:53:13. Now it is 11:54:28 am. Similarly, for date, I will just do control 1. I'm sorry. Just a second, please. I'll do control 1. And suppose I want this in a text format, the date in the text format, and I say OK. And this is 3rd of June 2020. You know, Excel is smart enough. If you type any date, like if I type 15 June 20, 15 space June space 20, and Excel will automatically capture that this is a date and it will show it in the date format. Or I write it like this, 23rd of July 23rd July 19, and I press enter, and 23rd July 2019 is written over here. It will automatically capture this. Okay, so this is how you can use the date function. Now the calculations are also possible in date function. So today it is 3rd of June 2020. After 100 days, what date will be there? If I want to see that, see how will I do that? I'll do a simple thing. I'll take this date, which is written in cell B1, and then I'll add 100 to it and press enter. And then I will show it in the date format. So I want to see it as in the date format. And see, it is 9th of April. Okay. Wait a minute. Probably I have done. Okay. I got it. First, I am typing here the date, 3rd of June 20, and thereafter, Third of June 2020, and then I add, say, 1 day to it, and it becomes 4th of June 2020. But I want to add 10 days to it. Then the date will be 13th of June. I want to add 100 days to it. So the date will be 11th of September 2020. And 1000 days 2023, and 10,000 days it will be 20th October 2047. There is one more way to enter date into Excel, and that is date function equal to date, and then bracket open, and now you can see the tooltip. First, year is written in bold letters, so I'll say 2020, then I put a comma, and then it is asking for month, so it is month number 6, and then comma, and then see, now it is asking for day, so it is this 3rd day of June, and press enter, and this is 3rd June 2020. You must be thinking, why so complicated? Why don't I directly enter it? You know, in some of the functions, inside a function, if you want to use the date, you cannot give the date in the text format. In that case, inside a function, you'll have to give date in this date format only. So this is how you can use date and time in Excel. Yeah, I was telling you this addition subtraction of date is also possible. So I just do the reverse thing. I'll say this is the 2047 date minus the current date. So how many days are there? Just a minute. Number format, I'll put it in the number format. So there are 10,000 days between these two dates. I simply do B5 minus B2 and I get this answer. Joining text and numbers and joining text only. How do I do that in Excel? So let's do one thing. There are various ways of doing this. Okay, so here I go. Suppose this is the list where the name of a person, first name and last name is given. Sometimes you get a data like this. In one column you have the first name, in another column you have the last name, and you want to join first name and last name in a single cell. How do you do that? So I'll simply select the first name. I'll type equal to. All functions in Excel and all calculation in Excel starts with equal to. If you don't type equal to, then Excel will not consider it as a function. Excel will consider it as a text. Suppose if I type equal to sum, then it is considering it as a function. But if I simply type sum and press enter, see, it is just a text, nothing else. So all functions and all calculations in Excel, it starts with equal to sign. So I type equal to, then I select this cell number C4 where the first name Andy is written, and then I put this sign, the and sign. So I put this and sign, and then I select the surname, and this and sign will actually join text, and I press enter. But I don't want this to be continuous. I want a space in between. So what do I do? Should I insert a space over here? No, it's not going to help. So what do I do? After and, I actually, space is a kind of text. Suppose I want to insert my name in between. So how do I do it? And Tarun and. So what I'm doing is here C4, that is Andy. And means joining the text function. And then I say, I cannot simply type a text because Excel will get confused. I need to put it in quote. When I start a quote inside a function, Excel automatically treats it as a text. So I say Tarun, and then I close this, and then I again join it, and then I say last name. See, Andy Tarun North is there. But I want to put a space in between. So before Tarun, I'll put a space. After Tarun, I'll put a space. And then press enter, Andy Tarun North. And if I want to simply put a space, nothing else, then I will put a space between the quote and press enter. So this is Andy North. Or I would put a comma, then I would put a comma here, and then one space. So why two and signs are there? Because I'm joining three items, and that's why two signs were there. Exactly, you pronounce it as ampersand, but loosely we say and sign. So this is how you can join text in Excel. There is one inbuilt function also in Excel which can be used to join text, and that is concat. So I'll do equal to concat. So the previous function was concatenate, but now it is better named as concate. See this yellow triangle, that is the earlier version's function. So I do concat, bracket open, text one is Andy, then separator, and now I want to put a space. So in a quote I will put space, and then comma. So now it is asking text 3, so it is north, and then I close bracket, and then I press enter. See, I'll repeat it for you. So first text I am taking from C4, then I put a comma. So comma means now I am inputting the next thing. This is done. So next thing is a space. So I cannot simply type a space, or I cannot simply type a text. I'll have to do within quote. Within quote I put a space, then comma, and then text. And this ND North is here. I want to say ND North is a student. Okay, so I'll say ND North and then space, I'm sorry, comma, and then quote, space is a student, quote closed. See, ND North is a student. This thing helps you a lot when you want to send bulk SMS. Name of the student, surname of the student, marks obtained by the student in a class, test. And then I want to send SMS to individual students' parents. Dear parent, your child ND North has got 20 marks out of 50 in class test 1. And here I want to replace name and then the marks obtained by that candidate. So I can use this concat function. But in the latest version of Excel, there is one much more powerful function is there. And that is flash fill. And how does flash fill works? I simply type here Nancy space Smith, and thereafter I can use in data tab. In data tab, flash fill option is there, Control E. This is a very powerful tool of new Excel, flash fill, Control E. This is kind of artificial intelligence or machine learning, better I say. There is no fixed formula. You see here, I have not defined any function. There is no function, there is no fixed formula. What I have done is, I just give one example to Excel. Excel will learn itself and then it will write. Okay, so let me do one thing now. Now I see SMITH, where I keep S as a small letter. Smith is NANCY, Nancy. And again in Nancy, I want to put all small letters. And then in any adjacent cell, I do Control E. North is Andy, Kotas is Jan, Johns is Maria. See how powerful it is. It will learn itself. I will say anything else. I'll say NAN, and then I say space, and then I say SM, and then I say God bless you. Okay, something, anything. First 3 letters from the first name, that too in capital, then first 2 letters from the last name, and then God bless you. And then I do Control E. Very powerful function, flash fill. When you have thousands and lakhs of name and you want to do any operation like this, you just give one sample to Excel. Just give one sample to Excel, and rest it will do automatically. Okay, you did this, he will copy your style. Yes, this is the new function you'll not find in the old versions of Excel, joining text and numbers, etc. Okay guys, now there is one very powerful function which have been there for a very, I think from the very first version of Excel it is there. This is a function. It looks like a very simple function, but believe me, this function is very powerful. How powerful is this function? I will tell you. First I'll tell you what is if function, and then I'll tell you that how can you use it in real life situation. You know, with if function, Excel becomes a sort of a programming platform. Okay, how to insert row, how to delete row, how to insert column, how to delete column, and everything na I haven't told you. Okay, let's copy and paste this thing. Just a minute. So I paste it here. Control C, Control V. You must be knowing this, na? Control C and Control V. Copy and paste. Okay, you want to insert a row in between, one more row. So in the Home tab, there is Insert, and in Insert Cell, Insert Column, Insert Sheet is there. I'll do Insert Column. So whatever was the format of left column was there, the format is actually copied. But if you don't want that format, then you can simply say format as left, format as right, and you can say clear formatting. Format as right, so it automatically clears because in right cell there was no format. Okay, so I just keep this cursor at D8 and I can do insert cell, insert row, insert column. Insert column is very simple like this. Insert row is like this. And then insert cell. When I say insert cell, it will ask me, how do you insert cell? Should I shift the cell down or should I insert the entire row? I'll say enter, shift the cell down. Now only, this will disturb the format. Only this column D cells are shifted down and column B and C cells are as it is. So one should not do that. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. That's a very powerful tool. Control Z, whatever error you do, you can always correct it. But how to select a column, how to select a row? I'll put the cursor over here at D8 and then I press Control Space. Space bar is the biggest key on your keyboard. Control Space. So this column is selected. But rather if I do Shift Space, then a row is selected. To select the column, you do Control Space. To select the row, you can do Shift Space. Once you select a row, and if you want to select more rows, then Shift and down arrow key or Shift and up arrow key. Similarly, Control Space, once you select a column, you want to select more columns, then Control Space you do, and then Shift and right arrow key or Shift and left arrow key. You can select more columns. Suppose I want to insert here 5 columns. So I'll do Control Space and then Shift right, Shift right, Shift right, and then I will do simply Control plus. I want to insert a column. The simplest thing over here is want to insert column, want to insert row, then Control and plus key. So you can insert row, column, or you can simply shift the cell right or you can shift the cell down. But once you select, if you do not select anything and then simply do the Control plus, then you get 4 options. But once you select a column and then you do Control plus, then automatically a column is inserted. And then I keep on doing Control plus, 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 plus. Okay, or you can do simply one thing. You select 5 columns. I'll repeat whole thing. You might have got confused. So I'm doing what? I put the cell cursor over here. Active cell is my D8. And then I do Control space bar. So the column is selected. Then I do shift right arrow key and see here 4C is returned, means 4 columns are selected. 5C is returned, it means 5 columns are selected. Once I select 5 columns, then I release the keys and then I do Control plus and 5 columns are inserted. And then I can say clear formatting. I don't want all this format. Okay. The same thing you can do for row. The same thing you can do for a single cell to be inserted or deleted. Yeah, for insert you do Control plus. For delete you'll have to do Control minus. So I select all these 5 columns from cell this range to this range. Then I do Control minus, and then it is giving me options. So I say entire column, and this is gone. Okay, how to select a table? Like this is a table. How to select this whole table? So either with the shift and arrow key you can select it, or you can simply press Control A. When you press Control A, if I put cursor over oranges and then press Control A, this whole thing is selected. Cookies and Control A, this whole thing is selected. I press Control A again. Once I select one table, Control A again, the whole sheet is selected. First Control A will select the table where the cursor is, and second Control A will select the whole sheet. The other way to select the whole sheet, to select whole column, click here. To select whole row, click here. I click number 7, it is selected. I click E, it is selected. But if I click here at the starting point of A and 1, then automatically again whole sheet is selected. So guys, these are the basic functions. Now, the next thing will be application. This was something basic about Excel. The next thing will be application. Okay, so far we learned very basic elementary concepts of MS Excel, and now let's try to learn its application for a commerce student. Alright, so first I will start with a concept which is named as time value of money. Now, what is the concept of time value of money? There are some functions in MS Excel, inbuilt function in MS Excel regarding time value of money. So first let me tell you name of all those functions, and then I'll tell you how to apply these functions in real life. In Excel there is one function which is named as FV. So that is better known as future value of money. Then there is one function which is named as PV, that stands for present value of money. Then NPER, that is number of periods. This period may be a year, this can be a quarter, a half year, a month, a day, a week. Usually we take years. So that's our choice. Excel gives us a choice. That's our choice, but usually we take years. Then there is rate function in MS Excel. So that is the rate of interest, I can say, or I can also name it as desired rate of return. Then there is PMT. This is amount of one installment. PMT stands for amount of one installment. Okay, besides this, there are some other functions like IPMT, amount of interest in an installment. Then there is PPMT, that is amount of principal in an installment. Then there is one function named as net present value and one function named as internal rate of return. So these are some inbuilt functions in Excel. What are these functions, and more important, how to use it in real life situation? This now we are going to learn. Now, what is the concept of time value of money? Look, let's take some example. If you make a fixed deposit today in a bank for 5 years of 1 lakh rupees, tell me one thing, after 5 years, you will be getting 1 lakh rupees or more than that or less than that. Obviously, you will be getting more than that because you will receive not only the principal amount but also interest. So you deposit 1 lakh rupees today. After 5 years, suppose it becomes 1,77,000 rupees, say, just for the sake of example. So this 1 lakh rupees is named as present value. Present, today, you deposit today rupees 1 lakh. And after 5 years, you receive 1,77,000 from the bank. So that 1,77,000 what you receive is named as future value. Today is present value. After 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, it's future value. 5 years. So, in my example, that 1,77,000 was future value. 1 lakh rupees deposited today, fixed deposit, FD in a bank, that is present value. 5 years, so NPER is 5. Suppose the rate of interest offered by the bank, imaginary figures I am taking, it's not a real calculation. Suppose the rate of interest that is offered by the bank is 7.6% per annum, so that is the rate. So this is one example. You go to a bank, you make a fixed deposit, you want to know what will be its maturity value. You are just dependent on the bank. Whatever maturity value they write, you have to believe that yes, this is the maturity value. But if you want to calculate it yourself, for how much amount my FD will mature, or if I open a recurring deposit account in a bank, you know what is recurring deposit? Every month you deposit some money in a bank account. Every month you deposit some money in a bank account and you get that money. For 5 years you deposit that money, and at the end of 5 years you receive all the amount deposited along with interest. This is called recurring deposit. So this depositing equal installment, here you will have to use PMT function. So what will be the maturity value of recurring deposit account, you want to know? Excel will help you. Sir, I want to borrow 1 lakh rupees from a bank for a two-wheeler loan. Yes, your two-wheeler is quite expensive. So how much installment I will have to pay to bank for next 3 years on monthly basis? Again, this PMT formula will help you. Sir, next 3 years, every month I will pay installment. Say, imaginary figure again, 4,000 rupees per month I am paying. So can you tell me that in my 23rd installment, what is the amount of interest in that installment? And what is the amount of repayment of loan, that is principal, in that installment? Can you tell me that? Yes, Excel will help you. IPMT and PPMT function is there. So I have got two choices: to make FD in bank one, or to make FD in a company rather than a bank. How to take a decision that which one is good for me? Then there is function net present value. Or if somebody is giving you offer, you give him rupees 40,000 now, and he will pay you 8,000 rupees per annum for next 10 years. So you are giving him 40,000 now, and he will give you how much? He will give you 8,000 rupees per month for how many months, or how many years, I'm sorry. So he will be giving you money for next 10 years. So you will be getting 80,000 rupees while you deposited only 40,000 rupees. So what is the rate of interest implicit in this offer? So that can be calculated either with internal rate of return formula or simply the rate formula. So now we are going to learn how to use all these functions of MS Excel in real life. Basics, very baby step basics we have already learned. Now let's take some example application. So fixed deposit of rupees 1 lakh for 5 years at the rate of 10% per annum. What is maturity value? What is maturity value? In case of simple interest and in case of compound interest. In case of simple interest and in case of compound interest. So let's first take example of simple interest. You know the formula for simple interest? It is simply principal multiplied by rate of interest in terms of percentage, points, whatever you want to write. When I'm writing small r, it is points, not percent. So 10% will be written as 0.10 multiplied by n number of periods. Isn't it? So principal amount is 1 lakh. It should be multiplied by 10%, and then it should further be multiplied by 5 years. So in Excel, I can calculate interest like this, equal to 10%, 5 years. I press enter, 50,000 rupees. Now principal is 1 lakh. So maturity value is, please excuse me for any typographical errors because I'm typing quickly. Maybe some keys hit wrong and some spelling error, typing error is there. Please excuse me for that. So this is how I get maturity value. Or the other way to get maturity value is simply I will say 1 lakh and then I will multiply it by 1 plus 10% multiplied by 5. Try to recall as per BODMAS. First Excel will multiply 10% with 5 years. So 10% for 1 year means 50% for 5 years. So 1 plus 50% is 150%. So that becomes 1 lakh 50,000 rupees, right? But that's not something Excel is actually helping us. Let's talk about compound interest, because this simple interest can be calculated manually, orally. You don't need even calculator. Why Excel? Compound interest. Now the formula for compound interest is actually complicated. I'll tell you formula, but you don't mind it. You can simply ignore it. Future value is equal to your present value, that is the principal amount you deposit today, multiplied by 1 plus rate of interest, raised to the power n. How will I show raised to the power n? Now that's a question. So I'll do one simple thing. I'll select this n, and in the home tab, in fonts, I'll show you again. Home tab, fonts expansion window, superscript. So this is power n. Okay. This is the formula. Future value is equal to present value into 1 plus r power n. So actually, when I without Excel, if I'm trying to do it, I'll write 1 lakh multiplied by 1 plus r. So 1 plus 0.10, that is 1.10. And then I'll have to do raised to the power 5. Okay. So here I do raised to the power 5. Now the question is, how do I make power 5 in Excel? How do I make power 5 in Excel? There are two ways. There is power function. So either I can do it like this, 1 lakh multiplied by what? See, power function I use. Now I don't need to put equal to, because at the start of this cell I have already put equal to. So if there is a function inside the function or calculation inside the calculation, every time you don't need to put equal to sign. So I'm using power function. If it is actually a function in Excel, it will start offering help to me. Yes, there is power function. So what is the number? Number is 1.10, comma. Now what is the power? Power is 5. Now it will be automatically solved. In simple interest, 10% 1 year, then for 5 years it becomes 50%. But in compound interest, you get interest on principal as well as interest on interest. So that becomes more than the simple interest. And see, here the answer, 1,61,051. For your convenience, I will just copy and paste this formula over here so that you can see 1 lakh into power function. And in power function, what I did actually was the number and then the power. I'll tell you one more way of doing this. 1 lakh into 1.10. Now I want to make power 5 now. So this kind of sign, this cap sign is there. So where is this? Shift 6. And this sign will appear. Shift 6. See on the keyboard. With number 6 on your keyboard, the sign is there. It's not Excel sign. This is the sign in the keyboard. And then power 5. Now see, Excel has two things to do. One is multiplication and another one is power. So before doing multiplication, Excel will do power. And you need not to put a bracket also. You can simply do 1.10 power 5. Before BOD mass, Excel do power. First power, then BOD mass. So first it will put power to this and then it will solve it. But for doing this, you need to memorize this formula, that this is the formula I need to use. So I'll tell you a third way of doing this. That is the inbuilt function of Msxl. I'm sorry. You must be thinking that how do I show this formula? To show the formula, what do? I just type this quotation sign. single quotation, not double quotation. And then I paste this formula, or I can type this formula and press enter. If I start with this quotation sign, then Excel says that whatever you type will be treated as text. Even if I type a number, if I type a number 2000, then usually it is with the right alignment. If I type a text, then it is with the left alignment. Okay. So let me do one thing. I'll type this quotation, single quotation, and then I type 2000 and press enter and see. Let me do it here. Single quotation and 2000. See, this is left aligned, and Excel is considering it as text. But Excel is doubtful that Mr. Tarun Mahajan, you are typing number as a text. Are you sure you want to type it as a text? So this is giving me one warning. Number stored as text. I'll say this is not an error, so you please ignore it. Convert to number if I say, it will remove that sign. But if I say no, ignore this error. This is not error, I have done it intentionally. So this warning will be gone. So to show the formula, I am here putting the quotation sign. And that's how you see the formula. So this is what you were doing manually. You are creating your own formula with addition, multiplication. But what about the inbuilt function of Msxl? Inbuilt function of Msxl is like this: equal to FV. In future, how much amount I will get? FV is future value. So this is equal to FV, and now I'll zoom it for your convenience. Bracket open. Now Excel, once I type bracket open, Excel says what is the rate? So I'll say 10%. Beware, either you should type 10% or you should type 0.10. Both are equally acceptable. What is 10%? That is 10 per cent. Cent means 100. So it is 10 divided by 100. So 10 divided by 100 is 0.10. So either you type 10% or you type 0.10. It is one and same thing. There is no difference. But if you simply type 10, then Excel will consider it as 1000%. So better to put a percent sign with rate to avoid any confusion. If you simply type 10, Excel will consider it as 1000%. Then comma, number of periods, how many years are there? 5 years. Then comma, then it is asking me PMT. PMT is amount of one installment. Installment means you deposit 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000 every year. That is installment. This is not the case of installment. There is just one single deposit today, and after 5 years, I'll be getting my money back. So there is not a series. What is installment? There is a series of payment. There is a series of receipt of equal amount. That is called installment. But PMT stands for installment. So I would like to skip this PMT. Either I type a 0 and then, observe one thing. As soon as I put a comma, then NPER is in bold letters. So number of period 5, comma, input PMT. No, I don't have anything like PMT. So skip it. I type another comma. Now it is asking present value. That how much do you deposit today? So I'll say minus 1 lakh. You will say minus? Why minus? Minus means outflow. You pay 1 lakh to the bank today so that you receive something after 5 years. So you are paying 1 lakh to bank. So that's why minus 1 lakh is there. And then it is also asking type. But let me tell you, this type is related to PMT. This type is related to PMT. Hence, we need not to specify the type. Okay. PMT we have already skipped, and type is related to PMT. So I will skip it and I will simply close the bracket and I press enter. And now you can see that the same answer is there, 1,61,051. This is the inbuilt function of Excel. You might be thinking that this is complicated, maybe because you are seeing it for the first time, but believe me, this is very easy than doing this power or this thing, because this is just the simplest example. When you go ahead, the examples will be more complicated, and in that case, making your own formula is not good. Using function is actually good. Now you are thinking why this rupee symbol is there. Sir, in my computer I am getting dollar symbol, because in your Windows setting, the regional setting in control panel, if you change it to India and rupee symbol, then only the rupee symbol will appear. Otherwise, a dollar symbol will appear. No, sir, I don't want to see this rupee, all these things. So you change the format of this cell. You want to change format of this cell. So make this the active cell. That is, select this cell and then control 1. Do you recall this? Are you able to recall this shortcut? Control 1. I'm sorry. Just a minute. So you do control 1 and this dialog box will appear, and here it is asking me to input number. Currently number is in this cell, is in currency format. That's why this currency symbol is there. And see here, it is up to 2 decimal places. Just a minute. Look, currently this is in currency format, and that too up to 2 decimal places. Look, and I want to change it. I don't want to this currency symbol, so I will click it, show made in number format, not in currency format. So see, whatever you select, whatever you select, that will be, you will have a preview over here. So in case of number format, you have the no symbol. In case of currency format, look here, you have the rupee symbol, and you have a choice to choose the symbol also over here of various currencies of the world. If you want to change it, by default it is rupee, because I have selected the control panel setting of Windows like that. So I say this is the number format, and then is asking me, do you want to use 1000 separator? See here, this separator 1,61. No, I don't. If I want to use it, it's okay. Otherwise, I can uncheck this. How many decimal place? No, 0 decimal places. Just round it off. Okay. And then I say okay. And this is the answer. 161,051. Okay. Other way was alter HFM. That way also this dialog box appears. And you can see general format, number format, currency format, accounting format, date format, time format, percentage format, fraction, scientific, text, spatial, custom, explore everything. But currently let's do it number without 1000 separator. Okay, without 1000 separator, I get 161,051 as my answer. So now tomorrow if your father asks you that I am making a fixed deposit in a bank, so what will be the maturity value? This way you can easily calculate. Let me create one more example on this. Okay, FD of rupees 1 lakh or say 50,000 for 3 years at the rate of 6% per annum compounded quarterly. Now this is something new. Though the rate of interest is 6% per annum, but bank is not going to charge 6% once in a year. Rather than it will charge interest quarterly. So 6% should be first divided by 4, because there are 4 quarters in a year. So bank will not charge plus 6% at the end of the year. Rather than it will charge plus 1.5%, plus 1.5%, plus 1.5%, plus 1.5% 4 times in a year. So what is the difference? Either you charge 6% one time or you charge 1.5% 4 times. It is one and same thing. No, no, no. If you charge 1.5% 4 times, then you will get interest on interest within the quarter also. And effectively you will be getting more money, slightly more, but yes, you will be getting more money if it is compounded more frequently. Now, how do I take this? So first of all, let me tell you that here the present value is actually 50,000 and the rate of interest is not 6%, rate of interest is 1.5%, and number of periods are not 3 years, it is 3 years multiplied by 4 quarters, that is 12 quarters are there. And now I have to calculate the future value. Okay, let me tell you one more thing. Here in this formula, if I don't put a minus sign, why do I put a minus sign? I'm giving 1 lakh to the bank and I'm getting a positive answer. I'm receiving 161 from the bank. Let's make it reverse. I put here a plus sign or I put here a no sign. No sign is plus sign. So Excel is saying, okay, you are receiving 1 lakh rupees today from the bank. So after 5 years, you will have to pay 1,61,000. If the input is positive, output is negative. That's logical because if you are receiving today, then you need to pay in future. But if you are paying today, that is depositing today, then you receive it in future. You know, the result remains same, only the sign changes. That's it. So let me put a minus sign over here. That is, I'm depositing money. Or I can put a minus sign in the formula itself. That's also okay. Now I'll calculate future value. That is the maturity value of my FD. Look, again the same formula, equal to PV rate. Now rather than typing, I can give a cell reference, 1.5%, comma, number of periods. So this B29 cell, comma, PMT, I would like to skip. Oh, I'm sorry. Equal to FV formula I have to use. Just a minute. Equal to FV bracket open. For rate, this cell reference is there. For number of period, this cell reference is there. PMT I want to skip, so another comma. For PV, I type a minus sign because initially I am paying this 50,000, cell reference is there. Type I will ignore. I'll close this bracket. I'll press enter and see 59,780 rupees is the answer. You know, 6% per annum will not give you the same answer. If I charge 6% per annum once in a year, in that case it will be equal to FV bracket open. See, if at any point of time you find that I am going at a speed, you can pause it and do it yourself and then play it, or you can replay it. Number of periods will be 3 years because rate is 6% per annum and initial amount is same 50,000. Now you see the result is different. If 6% is charged once in a year, then there are only 3 compoundings, first year, second year, third year, and you get 59550. But if you charge interest quarterly, then effectively you get more money, that is 59550. Okay, so this is how you use future value function in MS Excel. Now reverse of this can be used as present value function. How do I use present value function? Let's reverse this. I want to receive, let's take this example, start with this example. I want to receive 1,61,051 rupees at the end of 5 years. How much should I deposit today? Suppose the question is like that. You want to make fixed deposit with the bank where interest is 10% per annum, compounded yearly. You want 1,61,000 after 5 years. How much money should you deposit today? Okay, so let me insert some rows over here. and I say insert row. Oops. How much money should I deposit today to get rupees 161051 after 5 years? See, what do I do now? Now I'll use present value function. Very simple. I know the future value. I want to calculate present value. I will do that. Okay. So I'm sorry. I'll do equal to PV bracket open. And as soon as I do it, Excel offers me tooltip that, dear user, don't memorize the PV function formula, just input the rate. Okay, bank will give me 10% interest, 5 years. PMT, I'll skip this because this is one deposit, not a series of deposit. And in future, how much do you want to receive? I want to receive 161051. This is what I want to receive. Type I will skip because that is used with PMT. And I press enter. And see here the answer, 1 lakh rupees. Why this minus sign? I told you now, if you want to receive there, you have to pay here. So PV function is just opposite to the FV function. I want to receive that much amount on that day. Today, how much should I deposit? That is present value. Okay. Now I'll tell you one more thing. That is how to calculate maturity of a recurring deposit. You know, you're a student of commerce, and tomorrow anybody can ask you that what will be my maturity value of FD, how much do I get in my recurring deposit account, and you can't say that that's a lengthy calculation, I can't do that. You'll have to give that answer. So I'll take another example. Calculate maturity value of a recurring deposit account. RD account means recurring deposit. Every month you deposit something. Here monthly deposit is rupees 1000 for 5 years at 1% per month. So you're depositing money with somebody at the end of each month. At the end of each month, you deposit 1000 rupees for 5 years. 5 years into 12 months is equal to 60 months. And that fellow is ready to give you interest at the rate of 1% per month. And you want to know what will be the maturity value of your deposit. See, 5 years means 60 installment. One installment is 1000 rupees. 1000 into 60, you are depositing 60,000. Now tell me, you will be getting more than 60,000 or less than 60,000? Obviously, you'll be getting more than 60,000. So you want to calculate future value. 5th year's value is future value. So equal to FV bracket open. Now see, rate is 1%. Number of periods are 60 because now it is going month by month. Na? So rate must be monthly and period should be number of months. Number of period is 60. Now one important thing, as soon as I put a comma, it is asking me to input PMT. PMT is amount of one installment. What is the concept of installment? This is not a single amount, there is a series of amounts. All amounts are equal and the time gaps are also equal. See, so 1000 rupees is not a single amount, there are 60 such amounts. All amounts are equal, 1000, 1000, 1000, 1000, 1000. And time gap is also equal, 1 month, 1 month, 1 month, 1 month. Okay. So I put minus 1000. I am depositing 1000. It's my outflow. Then it is asking me PV. Are you depositing something today also? No, no, no. Today I am not depositing anything. It is starting just from month end, first month end. So I'll skip PV. That is asking me to input type. I told you type is related to PMT. So we need to give a type over here. 0 means end of the month. 1 means beginning of the month. If you are depositing money at the end of each month, choose 0. If you are depositing money at the beginning of each month, choose 1. So I choose 0. Suppose I am depositing at the end of each month. And then I press enter. And see, 60,000 is my principal amount. And I'm getting 81,669. Suppose I deposit money at the end of each, at the beginning of each month. So first month end, second month end, third month end, 60th month end. No, it is first month beginning, second month beginning, third month beginning. If I'm depositing money at the beginning, then more interest will be accrued. Then I press enter and my recurring deposit value will be 82,000. See, it is more than 81,000 because end of the month is delayed deposit, beginning of the month is faster deposit, and if I am making beginning of the month deposit, I'll get more maturity value. So this is how in future value function you can use PMT. Okay. Now, the next question is how to use PMT function, how to calculate PMT. So, if I borrow rupees, suppose I'm taking a housing loan and it is 20 lakhs for 20 years. I borrow rupees 20 lakh, repayable in EMI. What is EMI? Do you know? Equated monthly installments. Interest rate is 9% per annum, but obviously you won't apply it per annum, you will have to apply it monthly. And I'm sorry, rate is 9% per annum in 20 years. 20 years means 240 installment. What is amount of one installment? What is amount of one installment? And also make loan table. So here we have to calculate two things. Number one, I have borrowed money. How much installment will I have to pay each month? And number two, what is the amount of interest within each installment? To calculate installment, I will simply use PMT function. 20 lakh rupees is the amount of loan, 9% per annum is the rate of interest, 20 years are there. So rate, I will say 9% divided by 12. Either I can first solve it. 9%, 9 by 12 is 0.75. Either I can simply put 0.75 or Excel will do it. Number of periods are 20 years multiplied by 12. So that is actually 240 automatically. PV, present value. So what amount I am getting today? Present means today. Okay. What amount I am getting today? I am getting 20 lakh rupees. Be careful when you type 20 lakh rupees, don't type separators. So don't do it like this 20 comma 00 comma 000. No, no, no. It will go absolutely wrong. Simply 20 lakhs and you are receiving 20 lakhs. So this future value. After 20 years, do I pay something lump sum? Nothing. Type. Yes, type, if I don't specify the type, then by default Excel will assume it to be at the end of the year. Still, if I want to define type, I will say 0. Future value I'll have to skip and I'll say type as 0 at the end of the year. Even if I don't specify type, by default Excel will assume it to be at year 0. See, around 18,000 rupees. If you don't like this minus sign, you can put here a minus sign and then you'll get the answer like this. Okay, you want this to be in the number format, not in rupee format. Later we will do it. Around 18,000 rupees per month you will have to pay for next 20 years to repay this loan. If I simply multiply this amount by 240 installments, C46 into 240, then actually I am repaying 43 lakhs. What did I do? I'm saying one installment into number of installments. Effectively, I will be paying 43 lakh rupees. But I have borrowed only 20 lakh. Why this extra payment is there? Why extra 23 lakh? Obviously, for interest. If I want to know what is the amount of interest within each installment, there are two ways of doing that. One is, question was also saying, make a loan table. What do you mean by loan table? It means for each installment, you get a breakup value at how much is the amount of installment, how much is the amount of interest, and how much is the amount of principal. Okay. So rather than year, let's say month. First month and second month. 240. So typing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up to 240 is going to be very lengthy. So there is one simple way of doing it. You type 1, you type 2, select both. And there is a drag handle. What is drag handle? Let me tell you. Okay. So what is drag handle? I'll tell you. Here the active cell is A49. Look here. This is A and 49. Here also it is written A49. Here the active cell is actually A49. In the active cell, if you look at the bottom right corner, you will find here something different. Okay, I'll show it to you. Look. Look here. So this green color square at the bottom right corner is named as drag handle. So how to use this drag handle? I will just put my cursor on this drag handle, and as soon as I bring the cursor to drag handle, this cursor color changes from white to black, right? So if I, left click the mouse, hold the left click and drag it down and release mouse button. So 1 is filled up over here. Okay. But if I type 1 and 2, select both and then drag it down. See 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Excel automatically learned that what to fill up next. If I type 1 and 3 and then start dragging it, then 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 it is doing. Okay. So I can type 2 and then start dragging it, and you can see that count is there just near the cursor. See, count is 5, 6, 70, 150 and 304 it has become. I just want it up to 240. Why 240? Because 240 installment, 240 months are there. So this is 240. This way I can fill it up. Or there is one more way of doing it, and that is simply type 1 over here, make it the active cell. Then in the home tab, you will find one fill function. In the home tab, you will find one fill button. So I click at that fill button, and then there is the option of series, right? Just a minute. So this is the home tab. In home tab, there is option to fill. In fill, there is series. Fill series. Okay. Now, at first I have already typed 1. It means my series will start with number 1. Series in row or in column? I want series in column. So I select column. Type linear, growth, date, autofill. Keep it linear. So step value is 1. And step value is 1 means plus 1 it will be making. If I say step value is 5, it will be making plus 5. 1 plus 5, 6, plus 5, 11, plus 5, 16, so on. So I want step value 1 and stop value I define as 240, and then I say OK, and look here. Even you don't have the pain of dragging it down all the way, because when you drag it down, you have to keep an eye that yes, I have reached 240 or not. So simply, what do you do? First of all, I'm making loan table. Okay, I'm making loan table. First of all, you type month number 1, then alter H, and for series fill there is FI. See FI, then I do FI, then it is S, and this dialog box, and then I say column, and then I say up to 240, and it's okay, and filled it up. Okay. Now I want to know what is the amount of interest within each installment. Look, initially the amount of interest will be high, and later the amount of interest will actually reduce. So how to calculate that interest? The formula to calculate that interest is IPMT. IPMT. What is IPMT now? First, it is asking me to input rate. So rate was kind of 0.75% per month, or you can also type 9% divided by 12. Then for which period you want to calculate interest, I give a cell reference, so that later when I copy down this formula, this A49 will automatically become. Oh, okay, let me do one thing so that we learn one more concept. Rather than typing each thing, I will write over here each and everything. Rate is 0.75%. Present value is minus sign will put later, 20 lakhs. Okay, now I'll give cell reference to everything. So equal to IPMT, then rate For rate, I'll say 0.75%. Then comma, it is asking period. So I select this one, that is A49. Comma, number of periods. Okay, number of periods are 240. So let's type it manually. Or I can write it here also. Number of periods are 240. Let's not type anything in the formula. Let's give everything with the cell reference. IPMT. So rate is this 0.75%, comma, period, first period, total period NPER 240. Then PV, I put a minus sign and select this 20 lakhs. FV and FV I am not specifying because there is no future value. And type by default it will take at the end of the month. And I press enter and see within the first installment interest is 15,000. You can cross check that. You know how? Simply type 20 lakh, on 20 lakhs, if I multiply it by 0.75%, so first month's interest is 15,000, right? But second month, it will not be on 20 lakhs. Second month's interest will be on balance amount. Excel will automatically take care of it. But there is a problem. If I copy down this formula, there will be problem, error. You know why? Because now at the place of rate, it is taking, here rate was given in C45. When I copy it down, it becomes C46. I don't want that. So I would like to fix C45 at C45. So at C45, I press F4 and you can see a dollar sign is there. So dollar C $45. Even if I copy down, 45 will remain 45. Even if I copy right, C will remain C. Okay. Then period A49. I'll not put a dollar because when I copy it down, I want it to be A50 in place of A49. Then F46. Again, I put a dollar sign. F4. You keep pressing F4 and see what happens. Two dollar signs, one sign, no sign. Keep pressing F4. I want to fix it. I want to fix this also. For principal also, I will do the same thing, equal to PPMT this time. I can do one thing. I can copy and paste it here. No. But rather it's better to type PPMT rate 0.75% F4, comma, period, cell reference, but no F4, no dollar sign. You can put dollar sign manually also rather than pressing F4. Number of periods 240 F4. PV minus sign F45 F4. So if out of 17,994, 15,000 is adjusted for interest, then obviously remaining 2,994 is adjusted for principal. Okay. And once I set up this, then how to copy this to remaining 240 cells? There are various ways. One is select this, do Control C, bring the cursor here, hold the shift key, right arrow, and then page down, page down, page down, page down, keep doing page down. This is the toughest method of doing this, I am telling you. There are various easy ways. Control C you have already done. Now you have selected this. Either you press Control V or you press Enter. Control V and see this is copied up to 240 months. So Control C, Control D is one of the ways. Other ways, you simply select this and Control Shift down arrow key. No, that's not working. So you just do one thing. Select this and then do page down. No Control C, Control V is there. I selected that and then shift page down I am doing. To copy Once you select a range where the first cell is filled up, if you want to copy it down, then do Control D. See, now it is filled up. I'll just give you, here I select this and do Control D, fill in the blanks. One more way of doing this, you select this and the drag handle is there. Drag it down and it will be copied. Now look, the best way of copying it. Select the cells, put your cursor at the drag handle and double click it. It is automatically copied up to 240. I'll repeat it for you. Control Z. Select the cell, put the cursor on the drag handle, double click it, fill in the blanks up to 240. In the left column it was up to 240. That's why it's filled it up to 240. And balance of your loan amount, if you want to check, it is very simple. You take this 20 lakh rupees minus this repayment 2994. So that's the balance. You take 20 lakh rupees minus this repayment. Now next month what you have to do is you take the previous balance minus principal repayment. Again you take the previous balance minus principal repayment. Once you do this, then double click at the drag handle and see the balance is reducing. Oops. The balance is reducing and it has become almost zero. Look here, this is the whole loan amortization table of 240 months. It can be prepared within 30 seconds or 1 minute maximum. So in first installment, interest is more, principal is less. Then later interest amount reduces and principal increases. See, in last installment, interest is just as little as 133 and principal is 17,000 because initially interest burden will be more. But when you keep on repaying, interest burden reduces. So though we have not explored all the functions, but at least we have explored FV, PV and PMT and IPMT and PPMT. Right? There is no end. This is just the beginning. There is no end. This is just the beginning. If time allows, then we will have more sessions on this and many more wonderful things will come out of it. Believe me. So till then, bye-bye. Maybe see you in some other next session. Thank you.